Is there evidence of a civilization deep beneath the Earth's surface, or even an atmosphere capable of harboring life? While a lot of information we receive from NASA and environmental agencies may be accurate, there is still much to be discovered about our planet. Until more recent times, many people were convinced our planet was a hollow shell, with a civilization of earthly ancients residing underground. The French novelist Jules Verne, known for his series Voyages Extraordinaires, wrote Journey to the Center of the Earth around the time that the belief in a subterranean society. Before Verne, the hollow Earth concept was originally proposed in the 17th century by Edmund Halley, discoverer of the Eponus short-orbit comet that swings past Earth every 75 years or so. Halley believed the Earth consisted of several concentric shells separated by individual atmospheres, with the outermost layer having a thickness of about 500 miles. Halley believed natural phenomena like the aurora borealis and the magnetic field variance were products of these multiple layers, which he said moved independently of each other. More than a century later, Halley's theory was expounded on by John Cleves Symes, who published a paper detailing his intent to travel the Earth's interior. Symes devoted the rest of his life to garnering support for the Hollow Earth expedition, but fell sick during a trip to Quebec to give a lecture on his theory. Though he died before his journey ever came to fruition, his ambition inspired Arctic exploration and the first trip to Antarctica in 1838. Fast forward another century between the time of the Great Depression and World War II, as Admiral Richard E. Byrd of the U.S. Navy pioneered further exploration of the poles. And after a multitude of trips to the Antarctic territories, there is one Byrd narrative that sticks out more than the rest: his record-setting flight over the North Pole. According to an alleged diary entry written during his polar flight, Byrd came across a warm, lush climate with mammoth-like creatures and an ancient human race that had been long residing within the Earth. His plane was commandeered mid-air and landed for him by people in the center of the Earth, who intercepted his plane with a saucer-shaped aircraft. Upon landing, he was met by emissaries of a civilization many assumed to be the mythical Agartha. These alleged Agarthians expressed their concern about humanity's use of atomic bombs during World War II, and employed Byrd as their ambassador to return to the US government and relay their sentiment. The striking issue regarding the validity of this diary entry is that it is dated February 1947. If it is to be believed, this story covers Byrd's inaugural flight over the North Pole, then one need only look at the actual date when he achieved this feat more than 20 years earlier on May 9th, 1926. In fact, upon further inspection, it appears Byrd probably didn't quite reach the North Pole and instead fabricated his navigation records, poaching credit from another team that actually set the record a few days later. But what makes this entry so intriguing is that, if it is real, could have potentially been misconstrued from a later mission to Antarctica. Is it actually referring to the notorious Operation High Jump? High Jump was one of the largest operations ever conducted in Antarctica, with over 4,000 men sent to study, map, and reside on the continent for 8 months. The expedition included 13 Navy support ships, an aircraft carrier, helicopters, flying boats, and an array of more traditional aircraft. This expedition, as well as the subsequent Operation Deep Freeze, 8 years later, established an American military presence on Antarctica, which is prohibited today. So why, exactly, was there such a rush to facilitate this occupation? Byrd later told a reporter from the Chilean newspaper El Mercurio that his expedition taught him the U.S. should prepare for the possibility of hostile planes coming from the polar regions, as part of a recapitulation of his own polar experience. Many took this to be evidence of the flying craft he saw coming from what is believed to have been Agartha.